Naira versus dollar prices. The Naira keeps falling, prices are rising, and Nigerians are asking one question: when will this end? In today's episode, we are going to break down the Naira versus dollar crisis, what's really causing it, and whether relief is in sight, or if this is the new norms Nigeria has to contend with. Welcome back to Nigerian Unfiltered, where we break down politics, power, and people shaping our everyday life. Today, we are diving into something every Nigerian is talking about, and that's the Naira to dollar exchange rate crisis. Now, let's be honest. If you have stepped into a market or tried to buy anything imported recently, you already know how bad the situation is. Prices are rising faster than salaries. The cost of food, transport, fuel, and even school fees have all skyrocketed. And it's all connected to one thing, and that is simply the value of the Nigerian Naira to the United States dollars. That's so true. The exchange rate is at all-time low and is shaking every corner of the economy. Importers are finding it very hard to bring in goods. Businesses are cutting down, and everyday families are also struggling just to meet basic needs. You hear stories of people reducing their meals, postponing important purchases, or even taking out loans from the bank just to survive for the month. Exactly. Now, reforms were introduced with the promise that things will get better. Floating the Naira, attracting foreign investors, stabilizing the currency. These were the talking points from the politician. But instead of relief, Nigerians are feeling even more pressure. The big question now is this: was this the right step at the wrong time, or is this plan really necessary before we can see any gain? Economists often say that this is the short-term pains for long-term gains. But the reality is this: ordinary Nigerians are not economists. They are fathers, mothers, workers, and students that don't live in theories. They live in reality, and that reality is tough, if we have to say the truth. Here's my honest opinion. Talking alone will not solve this problem. Nigerians are tired of promises, empty one for that matter. What's needed now is action, and real action. We need policies that strengthen local industries so that we don't rely much more on imports for every time of our lives. We need better support for small businesses because they are the backbone of this economy. And most importantly, we need job creation because when people have steady income, they can survive shocks like this. The truth of the matter is this: the Naira won't magically rise overnight. It's going to take production, innovation, and trust in the system. Until Nigeria produces more than it consumes, the dollar will keep continuing to control our everyday businesses. And that's the real harsh reality. I agree completely. This isn't just about numbers and exchange rates. It's about survival. It's about whether families can afford food, whether students can pay school fees, and whether young people can see a future here in Nigeria instead of rushing to Japan out of the country. And that's why this issue is so urgent. It's not just an economic problem, it's a social one. If things don't improve, frustration will set in, and this will keep rising, and that frustration can spill into unrest. The government, policymakers, and even the private sectors need to wake up to this reality. Well said. At the end of the day, the question remains: can the Naira ever bounce back? Or is this the new norm that Nigerians must have to adjust to? That's where we leave it for today. What do you think? Do you believe that the Naira can recover, or should Nigerians prepare for a permanent shift in the cost of living? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe to this video for more straight talk on Nigeria's biggest issues.